What would happen if Finland and Sweden joined NATO? Welcome to Worldly IQ. Before we start, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this video. Before we talk about what would happen if Finland and Sweden joined NATO, let's give you a brief history on NATO and some of its members. North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or Organisation du Traité de l'Atlantique Nord in French, popularly known as NATO or OTAN, is also called the North Atlantic Alliance. NATO is an intergovernmental military alliance between 30 countries. 28 of these countries are in Europe, and the other 2 countries are in North America. NATO was founded because of the aftermath of the Second World War, which was insisted upon by the Truman administration on April 4, 1949. The North Atlantic Treaty is implemented by the organization. The chairman of the NATO Military Committee is in person of Lieutenant Admiral Rob Bauer, the Royal Netherlands Navy. The Secretary General being Jens Stoltenberg, the Supreme Allied Commander Europe, and General Todd Walters, U.S. Air Force. NATO is a system of collective security where its independent members agree to defend in response to an attack by any external country. It was founded during World War II in response to the threat posed by the Soviet Union. The alliance has remained in place even after the Soviet Union has been dissolved and has been involved in many military operations in the Middle East, Balkans, South Asia, and Africa. NATO's headquarters is located in Brussels, Belgium, while the headquarters of the Allied Command Operations is near Mons, Belgium. The organization's motto is a Latin sentence, Animus in consulendo liber, meaning a mind unfettered in deliberation. Since its foundation, the admission of new members has increased from the original 12 countries to 30 countries. The most recent member that was added to them was North Macedonia on 27th of March 2020. Now that we know a little bit about NATO, let's look at some of its member states. NATO currently has 30 member states, of which North Macedonia is the most recent. Some of the states are Canada, Croatia, Denmark, Estonia, France, Germany, Iceland, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Poland, Romania, Spain, Turkey, United Kingdom, and the United States, just to mention a few. With this in mind, you might be wondering why Finland and Sweden would want to join NATO. Just before that, let's give you a brief geography on Finland and Sweden. The geography of Finland is known by its position in the north, its ubiquitous landscapes of intermingled boreal forest and lakes, and its low population density. It borders the Baltic Sea, Gulf of Finland, and Gulf of Bothnia, as well as Norway, Sweden, and Russia. It is at the northern part in the European Union. Total area is 338,424 square kilometers, with its land being 89.85% and water 10.15%. Finland's population at 2020 was at around 5.5 million, making its population low. There is a small population growth because of the large reproductive age group, returning migration, and a decrease in mortality rate, thereby increasing in the population of old people. The dominant ethnicity is Finnish, but with notable historic minorities of Finland-like Swedes, Sami, and Roma people. It is ranked 171st in the world when it comes to their population. The Finnish Army is the land force branch of the Finnish Defense Force. Their army is divided into 6 branches: the infantry, field artillery, anti-aircraft, artillery, signals, engineers, and material troops. Their commander, who resumed office January 1 of 2022, is Lieutenant General Pasi Valamäki. The Finnish Army duties are threefold: defense of the land area of the realm, support of civilian authorities, and international crisis management operations. In addition to these tasks, the Finnish Army is responsible for conscription and personnel management of reserves. Now, let's take a look at Sweden. Sweden is a country in northern Europe on the Scandinavian peninsula, bordering Finland to the northeast, Norway to the west, the Baltic Sea to the south, and Gulf of Bothnia to the east. It is the largest country in northern Europe, the 5th largest in Europe, and the 55th largest country in the world. Total area being 450,295 square kilometers, land being 91.31% and water at 8.69%. Sweden's population is 10.35 million as of 2020. It is the biggest of the Nordic countries. Also has a low population density of 25.5 occupants per square kilometer. Swedish Armed Forces is the government agency that forms the armed forces of Sweden. They are tasked with the defense of the country, promoting Sweden's interest, supporting international peacekeeping, and providing humanitarian aid. The force consists of the Swedish Air Force, the Swedish Navy, and the Swedish Army, as well as a military reserve force, the Home Guard. Since 1994, all the Swedish military branches are organized within a unified government agency headed by the Supreme Commander. The individual services still maintain their distinct identities. It was founded in 1521, 501 years ago. The Commander-in-Chief is the government, Anderson Cabinet, and their Chief of the Army Staff, Dagleden. Now, back to the question, why could Finland and Sweden possibly join NATO? Everything changed when Russia invaded Ukraine, says the Swedish Prime Minister Magdalena Andersson and the Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin. The Prime Ministers of Finland and Sweden said at a press conference that they are considering joining NATO because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. This move is to ensure that alliance members would come to their defense in case Russia invades, although Moscow warned that it could lead to retaliation. NATO is a 30-country alliance joined together by a collective defense agreement. This means that an attack against one of their members is considered an attack against all members. Finland and Sweden want to join NATO because of Russia's invasion. Finland shares its eastern border with Russia. Although Sweden doesn't share its border with Russia, it is noted that Moscow could use Gotland, a Swedish island in the Baltic Sea, to attack Sweden. Both prime ministers said they plan to seek membership by June. Now that Finland and Sweden want to join NATO, what will this mean for Russia? Russia would not be pleased. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said that if the two countries decide to join NATO, Russia could lash out. Russia would do what they call rebalance the situation, according to Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova. This Finland and Sweden move would be met with military and political consequences. The Russian former president, Dmitry Medvedev, who is a senior member of Russia's Security Council, said that all its forces in the region would be used if the two countries joined the U.S.-led alliance NATO. It was also said by Alexander Grushko, Russia's deputy Dorian minister, that Moscow will take the security and defense measures that it deems fit if Finland and Sweden join NATO. What this would mean for Finland and Sweden is that they are putting both countries at risk if they join NATO. But on the bright side, when they join the organization, an attack on any of them would be seen as an attack to all, and the other countries would come to their aid. This is Worldly IQ. Thanks for watching. If you learned anything new, share this knowledge with a friend and be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for post notifications. Thank you.